Yellow friends. So this thing has gone viral now on YouTube. If you guys know Andrew Schultz, Akaash Singh, you know what I'm talking about. This I used to watch their podcast maybe a year or two ago, but I've not been following them for a long time after I think these guys Andrew Schultz was in one episode being very endophobic. Ever since that, I stopped following him. And this dude Akash, I've reacted to a couple of videos in the past. I don't like him. I don't think he's funny either. But now this thing is Myron from the Fresh and Fit podcast released a few videos reacting to this dude's wife, and now they have gone viral, and everybody's like roasting her, reacting to the things that she said. I don't know. Let's watch for a few minutes, and then I'm not going to discuss much about them, but I'll give you guys. There's a larger thing that I'll discuss. But first, yeah, let's see.
You walk happy. I walk happy. You take care of your kid. I give hand jobs. Yeah, no blow
Hand jobs.
jobs. So
Hand jobs.
I've been watching a lot of reactions on this, but she's like unbearable to watch. I literally don't like the way she talks. I don't know why all these American women try to talk like black women. You know, it's so cringe.
Just fucking cringe, man.
This dude's dick. But that's not surprising. That's not surprising, actually. She want to sit on fucking Nav's dick for free, but you gotta buy her 2 fat ass diamond rings, and all you do is get a little bit of a handy from time to time. That's tough.
Is there no hope for him?
Different. My wife also hadn't had any sexual partners, so that helped us connect a lot more.
Now, let me ask you this:
and
do you believe her?
If you've seen her, then it's hard to believe. I remember I was
Okay, so the long story short, so these guys went on Fresh and Fit went on flagrant, and this guy gave them a nice lecture as to what you should do and you shouldn't. And now 3 years later, I think Myron found like her TikTok videos and then exposed the whole thing. I never liked Akash anyway. He's see, we're both Indian, but he's North Indian, and there's and he's always had issues with South Indians. I don't know for whatever reason. Yeah, and he's not funny. All his jokes are like insult jokes. If you like, I've watched a few clips of him. He just basically insults people, and he thinks that's comedy. I don't know. At least it's not my kind of comedy. So let's. The main reason I wanted to discuss this is this. This red pill thing, right? That gets talked about a lot on YouTube. I've been watching red pill content for some time now, maybe 2-3 years, and I believe I've I got red pill maybe long time back, maybe due to personal experiences or whatever. So I kind of agree with whatever these red pill guys say, especially when it comes to the male female relationships. You know, yeah, it's You realize that as in when you grow older, because when I was young, I wasn't naive as well, right? Like, but like the nature of men and the nature of women, you realize that the older you get, you realize that the red pill is actually true. I'm not trying to say that women should be submissive, men should dominate them, or feminism should not be there or anything like that. But feminism is one topic that we are going to be discussing today. All I'm trying to do here is like just observe and tell you guys what has happened, and I don't know whether we would be able to fix this or whether it needs to be fixed in the first place, or how it's going to evolve or what is going to happen in the future. But there's a clear connection between feminism and the way society is these days, and the way women act these days, and the declining marriages and the birth rates and everything, which is all like interconnected. So I also did like a chat GPT kind of a thing. So maybe discuss. I'll go through that first. After that, we'll come to my paint. So this is what I've been chatting with ChatGPT for some time now. So I started with like who actually started this whole feminism thing, and this is what it says. Feminism wasn't invented by a single person. So apparently these were the very first people who were instrumental in kickstarting the feminism. The word feminism itself emerged in France in 1830s to 1870s, it seems. And Hubertine Auclet, she was the one who helped it popularize in the 19th century. All right. Okay. Who can be credited as the founders of feminism? So this is what it says. Christine D. Paysan, Mary Wollstonecraft, central founders of modern feminism. So this person is apparently an important figure. And there's another French. There's a lot of French. It looks like. All right. So there's like apparently 4 waves of feminism, and the first wave started in the 1800s. And these women were the ones. And then there are later waves of feminism. I just asked it to summarize what exactly each wave of feminism achieved, basically. And this is what ChatGPT says, right? So it focused on legal rights and the right to vote, and key goals were like voting rights, property rights, access to education, marriage, and inheritance. Okay, women's right to vote. So this was the major achievement of the first wave of feminism. Made women full political citizens on paper. Yeah, that is needed. That is okay. That is fine. And the second wave of feminism, it started around 60s till 80s. And is equality, everyday life, work, family, sexuality, legal protections, civil rights. So this is where I believe women entered the workforce, started to work side by side with the men. So, and then there was like equal pay and reproductive rights, birth control, gender discrimination, sexism. So what are the major achievements? Equal pay and title. greater access to contraception and abortion rights. I think this also plays an important role in the topic of marriage and birth rate reduction. All right. The third wave started around the 1990s till early 2010s. So this was more about inclusivity, I believe, like race, disability, culture, LGBTQ rights, and this and that. And mainstreaming intersectional feminism. I don't know whatever that means. Okay, so the third wave of feminism made feminism more inclusive and self-reflective. Fine. And then what did the fourth wave achieve? Technology-driven activism, sexual violence, and systemic power. The Me Too movement. Okay. The fourth wave uses technology to fight systemic and cultural sexism, especially sexual violence. All right. Some scholars argue we are entering or already in a fifth wave, focusing on structural power redistribution, economic justice, climate, and gender global activism rather than Western centered. In India there has been the influence of feminism, although India being a very old country, I don't know, like ideas percolate a little bit slower compared to other countries where they readily adapt to new things. When India is like is a bit slow in adapting things. So if you were to summarize in one sentence, basically first wave was legal rights, and second wave equality, work, family, and law. Third wave, so this is the important. Third wave inclusion, identity, intersectionality. Fourth wave fighting sexual violence, online harassment through digital activism. Okay, fine. And this is some infographic. I tried to ask for a infographic, but I think I should be logged in for that, so it's okay. So, and then I was like, how did feminism influence the marriage and the birth rates? So it says the first wave of feminism did not have much impact, but this is where the second wave of feminism is where the major turning point happened, right? With shifts in marriage patterns and declining fertility in Western countries. Why? So women entering the workforce, legal and social acceptance of birth control, delayed marriage, rising divorce rates, and women's autonomy, major marriage rate decline. Okay. And third wave and fourth wave. So basically in the second wave, that's where it starts to change. So when did feminism start influencing marriage and birth rates? So it says around in the 1960s to 70s. So again, it says feminism, ChatGPT is obviously going to be problematic, is one of many factors. So the others include rising education levels, which is again a side effect of the feminism. Economic shift, cost of housing, urbanization, change in cultural norms. Yeah, all right. And also, I think after 1970s, people started to become less and less religious. I think that is another reason, and that is why if you see in Islamic countries that this has not been a problem. Why or what exactly is the problem? I'll come to that. So this is what I'm talking about. So what exactly is replacement level? So the other day I was just going through ChatGPT, and then I found this important keyword, replacement level fertility, right? What exactly is replacement level fertility? Replacement level fertility is okay, I'll just read ChatGPT. Is the number of children each woman needs to have on average for a population to replace itself from one generation to the next without migration. So if as a country, as a nation, if the women are not reproducing enough, enough, then there will be issues. So you need another generation to replace this generation. If that is not happening, countries start to seek help from other countries. So that's what's been happening with Canada, countries like Canada, Australia. So migration starts to happen, and when migration happen, there's a change in the demographic, and then you have multiculturalism, and have we all kinds of other issues like racism and that kind of stuff. So but let's stick to the feminism thing here, right? So apparently the replacement level should be at or above 2.1. So 2.1, meaning I think every woman should have at least 2.1 to 2 children or more, something like that. But in the developing countries, in developed countries, it's very very low. It seems it's about somewhere 1.3 or something like that. That's what it says. So I also asked ChatGPT if it could be the decline in the marriage. This thing could be due to the divorce laws or what. It says, yeah, it could be. Yeah, that is also one of the reasons that's contributing to this thingy. Now, let's get back to the so this is what I've put here as a. So if you check from based on the ChatGPT search, what I found is from 1970 till 2025, there's been a 50% decline in the marriage rate, which is also the same as the birth rate, roughly 40 to 50%. I'll just put it as 50%. So what exactly is happening here? So it's before 1970, before women entered the workforce. I think men and women, they understood each other's roles, where men were the providers and women were the nurturers. They took care of the family and they reproduced, and men took care of the finances, and so the replacement level fertility was 2.1 and above, because gender roles each they took care of the whole system, right? But now what happened after 1970, because of this influence of feminism, women have started to think why should I listen to you? I'm earning, I'm not gonna listen to you, I earn equally, that kind of stuff. But because of that, I think on the one hand, men don't want to be with such women, combative women anymore, and that in turn, what happens, men don't end up pursuing marriage, or they don't want to have kids. They lose interest in marriage in general, right? Bear in mind that men are the one who initiate this. Men are the one who propose, men are the one who chase women and then ask them to marry, that kind of stuff. Women don't do that traditionally. Even now it's not the case, right? Could be some here and there, but in general it doesn't happen. So if the ones who initiate this, they lose interest, what happens? Obviously marriage rate is going to go down, and then the birth rate is going to go down. Now also women are kind of hypergamous, right? If they're earning a lot, they also want to get married to someone who earns a lot more than them, right? So there's also this mindset back in India that they don't let girls get a lot of degrees, because it would be difficult for the parents to find a groom for the girl. But I don't think there's any such thing in the Western countries. So whatever I'm talking about is mostly with respect to the Western countries as of now, because I think in the Western countries, feminism is basically it is not serving anything as of now in 2025. It has served its purpose, but 2025, I don't think there's any reason for feminists to still exist. So what is happening, because men lose interest in marriage, which roughly, right, there are also people who are having kids outside marriage, but the birth rate is also gone down, right? So obviously there's some interconnection there. Because of this, the population goes down like less than 2.1, and so you don't have like what's the word, like interesting word, replacement level fertility is not met, and because of that, countries expect migrants, depend on migrants to whatever, to sustain, to, and then if the migrants who move to this country also adapt to this culture of feminism influenced culture, they are also going to lose interest in marriage eventually and depend on more migrants. You know what I mean? So this is like a vicious cycle. Well, if you compare that to other countries where there's a lot of there's no such issue as replacement level fertility issues, like take countries like India, for example. I don't know, there are other countries, there could be other countries as well. I'm giving an example of India because I'm from India. So you don't have this problem. You don't have, like, feminism is not a big not a big it's not had that much of an influence in India. Maybe in the major cities, you can say, but India is a large country, and predominantly is villages and rural areas who don't have like proper education and whatnot, but at least they manage to continue to reproduce, which is a good thing in this context, because they don't need to depend on other countries or migrants to kind of sustain their whatever, like economy. They just self reliant, isn't it? Now, I'm not saying that feminism, I'm not trying to paint feminism in a negative light or positive light for that matter. I'm just trying to make an observation. Personally, I don't think in the Western countries feminism is even in developing countries. Like in developing countries, maybe it may have its place, because there's obviously some corruption and misogyny and this and that. But in general, I'm saying, like, look what it has done to the Western countries and where they are right now. I think the developing countries should learn from this. Anything that is going to disrupt the whole cycle of this reproduction or whatever, the whole, which in turn impacts the whole system, the economy and everything. I think it needs to be scrutinized, and people need to discuss about this. And all of this I'm saying because this is the kind of women that feminism has. She's like a byproduct of modern day feminism. And do you seriously think their marriage will last? Even if it lasts, I don't think, like, see what has happened to Will Smith now. No, so everybody is calling him a simp now. Nobody thinks of him as a movie star anymore after the whole Jada Pinkett Smith thingy. So already they are comparing this lady with Jada. So obviously he's a simp. He's learning it the hard way. But I'm saying this is where it has brought us the modern day feminism. This is what has this is the state of women in the modern society. And I don't think any guy would want to marry this kind of a person. I don't know why this dude is dumb, as I said in my earlier video. He's just unfunny, dumb motherfucker.
Have you no empathy, man?
So, but that's just my 2 cents. Yeah, I'll see you guys in another video. Bye.